For my next project for my 7 Days of Christmas series for 2019, I recently purchased some very inexpensive stickers from my local craft store. Now, when I first spotted these, I thought they would be perfect because they're the perfect size and orientation to create some artist trading cards. So that's what I purchased them for. Now, an artist trading card, if you don't know, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that do know what an artist trading card is, but there may be one or two people watching that don't, is a small piece of artwork, no bigger than 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. That's in imperial. In metric, it's 64mm by 89mm, and it doesn't matter whether you do it portrait or landscape. For mine today, I'm going to be doing mine portrait because that's the orientation of my Nutcracker stickers. Now, I've created 6 bases already out of watercolour cardstock. So this is approximately 300 GSM in European weights, or if you're in the US and still working in poundage, it's about 170. Somewhere between 140 and 170, because this is watercolour cardstock. It's not your ordinary kind of bond weight. That's why there's a little bit of a difference. So if you're wanting thick card, bond card if you like, or bond paper, it's around about £170. But this is watercolour cardstock. So that's why there's a bit of a difference, because there is a different weight scale, if you like, for bond paper, cover card, and that watercolour paper, that kind of stuff, and it's just too complicated to go into right now. But anyway, so I've cut 6 pieces of my watercolour cardstock at those measurements that I mentioned, so 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now, part of the little mini Christmas craft haul that I got when I bought the stickers was I also bought 2 paper pads, 2 Christmas paper pads. Now, these paper pads are 4 inches by 4 inches. Perfect size for doing bases for artist trading cards. I'm going to use the vintage set today, not the Christmas originals. I'm going to be using the Christmas originals for another project a bit later on. So for this one, I'm going to be using, I think I want to do 6 different backgrounds. So I want some nice kind of small patterns, or Christmassy patterns if you like. I appreciate they're all Christmassy patterns. So I want to use that one, and I want to use that one, a nice little wooden background. And I'll just flick through because I want to use that one as well. There's a lovely plaid or tartan one in here as well. I want to use that vintage style one with the stockings on. That's 4. The holly one for sure. And where's that beautiful plaid one? There. Love that one. Absolutely adore that one. So there's my 6 backgrounds. Yeah, there's another dark wood one there, but I think it's a little bit too dark. So the first thing I'm going to do, apart from clear some space, is pop those sheets to one side. Part of that mini Christmas craft haul, I also bought some little mini velvet bows. There's also a little pack of gold, just plastic, little plastic gold stars, but they were really inexpensive, and I thought they'd be nice little embellishments to put on these. And because I have no glitter glues, I purchased these very inexpensive, supposed to be 3D glitter glue, but that remains to be seen. And I bought red, gold and green, obviously because it's Christmas. I bought a silver one, I bought an iridescent one, and just because there was only 6 colours in the set, I bought the blue one as well. Just because. So I'll put those to one side. I've got everything in a little tub here so that I don't lose it. And I'll pop those Nutcrackers to one side. So first thing I'm going to do is cut down each of these papers into a 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece, which will fit exactly onto the front of my ATCs. So I won't bore you with the cutting out process, because watching somebody cut 2 straight lines isn't exactly the most interesting thing to watch. So I'll go ahead and cut those out, and then I'll be right back. Right, so all of my papers are now cut to size. Now, I've got somebody sat next to me now. I've got a little visitor. Go on, say hello.
Hello everyone.
There you go. He's got nothing better to do.
Well, I have, but it makes a lot of noise and I can't make noise while he films.
Exactly.
So
otherwise I'll be beating him with a big stick.
So I've come to watch the master at work.
Hardly. But he's just said to me, they're a bit scrappy, aren't they? Does your blade need changing? Yes, it does. But it doesn't matter.
Because you're going to grunge them up.
Because I'm going to grunge them up anyway, yeah, exactly. Right, so they're my card bases. There are the 6 little backgrounds that I want to use. Why did I put that there? Look, you've made me all nervous now.
So why are ATCs that size?
It's just the way that they were created originally. It was the ATC thing was invented and created back in, I don't know, I think it was probably the 80s, I think, or early 90s. And it just caught on, and it was just a particular size that the person chose, 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, which in some places is the same size as the trading cards that people used to get in bubblegum packs.
Oh yeah.
But also playing card size, the small
playing cards.
Yeah, there are 2 different sizes of playing cards, which a lot of people don't realise. There's the standard size, and there's a smaller size, which is 2.5 by 3.5.
Oh, the huge ones.
For game shows.
Yeah, I like
exactly.
those.
Yeah, yeah.
We saw some in the supermarket.
We did. Right, okay. So, I digress. So, all I need to do now, just to get started, is literally just to glue these onto the card bases now. So, that's what I'm going to do next. Now, like I've said before, this isn't the most interesting thing to do.
What glue are you going to use?
This. It's just a very inexpensive PVA glue pen.
Because we had some the other week that we used.
And it was awful.
It was awful.
Absolutely awful. So I will do one. I've taken the nib off. And I'm just going to just run a little bit.
I'm going to say I've got a tape runner if you want one.
No, thank you. Tape runners are permanent. They say they're permanent, but they're not. They lie.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas, but they still lie. So I'll do this one. Now I'm using the PVA because
you can slide it as well.
It's got wiggle room, yeah. You've got a few seconds or so wiggle room, but also I've got this.
Okay, yeah.
Which is just going to get rid of any kind of air bubbles or possible rinky dinklage.
That really looks vintage.
It's because it's well loved.
Well loved
is the phrase I think you're looking for, not vintage. Well loved. Okay, so you've seen me stick a piece of paper onto a piece of card. Really exciting. I'm not going to make you sit through it another 5 times. Stop yawning. Stop yawning.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stick the others on and I'll be right back. Blooming yawning. You're still yawning?
Yeah, I've just woken up watching you do that.
Right, I've stuck them all down, as you saw me do. Ian's just said, are you going to scuff the edges of these? Because, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes.
But what I am going to do is I'm going to get some vintage photo and
kiss the edges.
Distressing. I like that.
Kiss the edges.
And kiss the edges. That's a nice way to put it. So just go around. See, that's why it doesn't matter if you kind of don't get them totally lined up properly. It's all part and parcel of the vintageness.
I discovered the other week when I built a clock for someone, and there was a scratch on the clock.
Yeah.
So I used the archival one, potting. Is it potting soil?
Potting soil, yeah.
It's beautiful. Got rid of the scratch.
Yeah. So it's a lovely colour. Oh look, that's not stuck down properly. I'll have to add a little bit of glue just underneath that one. Just a tiny
That was David and Julie's clock. Hi David and Julie. Because I know they watch you.
That's the Crofts.
The Crofts, yes.
Right.
So they've got a fantastic clock that I built on the wall.
Yes.
Looks like something out of Wild Wild West.
Yes, not that you're blowing your own trumpet.
No, not blowing my own trumpet. I'm trying to hijack your show.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what you are.
But I am brilliant.
Right, so you've all seen people just dressing the edges before. I'm just going to go ahead and do the other 4, and then once we've done that, we're going to break for some lunch, aren't we?
We are going out for lunch, actually.
We are. We're going to go out for lunch, and then when I get back, I'll carry on. So the next time I see you, they'll all be done.
And you'll have a full tummy.
And I'll have a full tummy, yes. Okay, I'm back. It's just me this time. We've got back from our little trip out. We actually were going out to buy the Christmas tree. So we had lunch at the garden centre as well. So I'm now back and stuffed because it's 2:30 in the afternoon now. Okay, so while we've been out, these are all nicely dry. As you can see, they're all nicely distressed now. So I'm ready to start with the next layer, which I'm going to do in 2 different ways. So I'm going to put these 2 with the lighter backgrounds to one side. So I've left with the kind of darker backgrounds. And I'm going to bring in some of the Ranger texture paste, the opaque crackle. And I'm just going to clean all this muck off the inside first of all, because this is what happens. It dries on the lid and then creates an absolute almighty mess when you next open it up. It's pooey. There we go. So I'm going to grab some of the texture paste and I'm going to place it just down onto my mat there. I'm not going to be using a huge amount of this. So whatever I don't end up using will just go back in the pot. And I'm going to pull out one of my old-time favourite stencils. This is the TCW, the Crafters Workshop, and this is called Microbial. So I'm going to use this onto the card. So I'm just going to place it down over the top, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the paste, not masses of it, and I'm just going to go through like the 2 kind of like top kind of corners. Take a little bit of the paste and just swipe it through, but only towards the top. That'll do me. That's it, scrape it all off, peel it off, and then put it to one side. Now this is the crackle paste, which means as that starts to dry, it's also going to start to crackle. I'll just run my finger around the edge, just so there's no overhang. And of course, where it touches the distress ink I've already added on the edges, it will also start to turn a little bit brownish as well, because that distress ink will pull into the paste. So I'll just clear that a little bit out of the way. I'm not going to clean the stencil off just yet. I'm going to bring the next one in and I'll just drop that one down over the top and do the same thing again. Just swipe it through, maybe a little bit to the side this time, just kind of random. That'll do. And then peel that off, put that one to one side. I'm running out of spaces to put things now. Just clear that space. Grab this one. And same again, just lay that down like so. Take a little bit. Now because this one's already got lots of circle kind of patterns on it already, I'm not going to add a huge amount on. I'm just going to go, that'll do. And again, where I've just cut the edges, I'll just wipe that off with my finger. Put that one to dry. Grab the cloth. And then on this last one, I'll just put a couple in strategic places and be in the corner. And then maybe down here in this corner. And maybe just a tiny bit just down the edge there. Yeah. Yeah. do for that one. So that's it for the white. I'll say that's it for the white. And I'll just quickly clean off the stencil. Excuse the knocking noise. I really need to get that bookcase secured. Right, let me finish cleaning this off, because I don't want to leave it as it is, because it'll gum up and set hard and I'll never be able to use the stencil again. So let me get this cleaned off and I'll put this lot back into the pot, because waste not, want not, and all that. And then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do with the last remaining two. Okay, so while those four are drying, I've got my two lighter coloured ones. Now I've cleaned off my stencil as the best I possibly can. And this time I've got some Studio 490 from Wendy Vecchi embossing paste from a company called Dreamweaver. Now I've had this for absolutely years. I can't find a date on it, but I must have had this for, what, a good 8 years. And I'm not sure whether you can still get it. I've still got quite a bit left in my pot and it's still as good as the day when I bought it. I don't know whether Dreamweaver is still going. I honestly couldn't tell you, but this kind of embossing paste has got a lovely kind of metallic sheen to it, and when you put it through your stencil or on whatever project, it goes on almost like a toffee colour. Can you see? But when it dries, it's gold. It's like witchcraft. It really, really is like witchcraft. So I'm going to put a little bit just on that lighter one, like that, and you'll be able to see what I mean in a minute. And I'm just going to quickly do the same thing for the one with the gold, with the stars on. So just grab some of the paste. I dread the day when I actually run out of this stuff, because it's one of those items, like I said, that I'm almost certain they've stopped making it, which means I'll never be able to get it again. So I don't use it that often because I'm frightened of running out. I know, but I'm sure we've all got products that we don't really want to use because we don't want to use it up. Okay, so pull that, and then just wipe the edges, and then I'll quickly just do the same thing, and that should be it. Okay, I'll get this cleaned up, wiped down, cleaned up, and then I'll get my heat gun on this, because you can heat set it, and then when it's all dry you'll be able to see exactly what I mean about the gold. Okay, let me just show you how they've turned out. Look at that. Look at the shine on those. And that's that toffee coloured embossing paste. Isn't that lovely? And then of course on the crackle you have little tiny crackles in those. Really see better on the wood, just there. So absolutely love that. And again on that tartan, on the plaid, all those lovely crackles. So we're just about ready now to stick our nutcrackers onto our bases. So they're just on little foam pads, but they've also got white edges. So I'm going to just gently just go around and just kind of catch the edges with the distressing, just to kind of take away where possible without trying to bend or break any of them. Just kind of try and dirty them up a little bit. They are kind of delicate, so you've got to be really careful, so because they are just paper after all. So that's that one. So that's a darker one. So I want to go on the lighter one. So you can stick just like so. And then I'll take the other lighter one, or the other darker one I should say. And then just quickly whip around there. Again, just very, very gently, just trying to get rid of some of those raw white edges. Oh, I can barely speak today. It's because I've eaten. I want to go for a nap now. So he can go right in the middle of that one. Like so, so I can move those two out of the way. So although they look the same, obviously with them having different backing papers, they make them different. So Mr. Drummer, Joe Strummer. I'm just wondering now, second guessing myself, whether I should have just done this with the edge of a distress marker. Perhaps it wouldn't be quite so so strong. But you know what? It's okay. Right, so for the drummer, I think I'm going to put on the wood. So I'll pop him down about there. Ha! Love it. And I think on the next one, yeah, let's put him on the other brownish one. Just gently go around. That's it, doesn't have to be perfect. That should do us. I'll put him right in the middle. Get my head out of the way, Mike. Yep, that one. So we'll put those two up there. And then we've finally got these two. Just very gently. I know this is going to be really delicate, this one. And then I'm going to put that, well, there's not much more choice really, is there? So in the middle, like that, and the last one, that should just about do it. There's no need to go mad. I'll put him right down the middle on that one there. Okay, so distress ink away. Let's bring those back in. So let's just separate those two. Let's do that like that. I think they're looking really, really cute at the moment, but we're not going to finish there. I've got some little red bows, if I can get into them. There we go. Just tear the top off. Go for it. 1, 2, 3. Don't like that when it's curled. And 6. And get put away for next year. Okay, so for these, I'm going to stick them on, not using glue, but I'm actually going to use some foam pads. So I've got some circle foam pads here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them into halves, quarters, I should say. And that should make them big enough or small enough to use. Okay, so let's peel that one off there, which is a quarter piece, and then stick that down, give it a good push, then I can peel the top off, and then where we're going to put it, where we're going to put the bow, let's put it across his waist on that one. Or perhaps it might be better if I actually just put it down there at the bottom. Yeah, actually that's probably a nicer way of putting it. Do the same thing on the others. See, I could have used glue for these, but to be honest, it probably didn't dry, or wouldn't dry as quick as I want it to, because I'm impatient. No other reason. I might just throw one of those away. What a idiot I am. Right, let's turn that over. Put the foam pad down. They're quite strong, which is a godsend really. I'm going to put that one down there, and I don't mind if they overlap our little Nutcracker characters a little bit. Because that's just it. Right, I'll continue putting these bows on because this is a bit more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. So I'll just fast forward, put a little bit of music on, and then I'll join with you in a second. Okay, so all my little bows are stuck down. They're not going anywhere. So just to finish these off then, I've got these little plastic shiny gold stars, and I've got 6 sets of 3 because, well, just because things look better in 3s. So I've got my little bits of glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of dobs, or 3 dobs of glue, and then I should have a pickup tool somewhere, but probably will be able to find it, and I'm just going to drop those little stars down onto the little blobs of glue, just position them with my finger. Mr. Bentley's moaning. It's time to go for a WALK. Getting a bit vocal. There we go. So those 3. So then I'll put that to one side, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Oh yes, thank you. Told you I was going to get vocal. As I was saying, thank you. Be quiet. He's got to be in, hasn't he? It's got to be in. Right, so I'm not too worried about the PVA. because that will dry completely clear at the end. But again, I'll just put that to one side. So we want 3 dots, one, a little bit further spaced apart on this one. And then there we go. Like it. And again, so we'll do one there, one there, and one there. Drop the one in the middle. Actually, maybe a bit further up. The thing with the PVA is you can just wipe it off and reapply it before it sets with no problems, he says. Look at these big fat sausage fingers trying to do detailed work, not working. There we go. That's 4 done. The problem when you're trying to concentrate is you tend to, well I do anyway, I forget to talk, which isn't really good when you're trying to do a video like this. Get over. That one doesn't want to move, does it? Yeah, what the hell. And finally, okay. I should have maybe a pencil or something just to maneuver it, and then no, that didn't work. Right, and the last one. Ta-da! Okay, so let's bring those all back down. Right, I'm going to give those about 10 minutes or so just to set, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so my little gold stars have had a chance to dry now. They're not going to go anywhere. And I've also added on the back my little ATC sticker, which I've filled in and numbered from 1 all the way through to 6. So that's number 1 of 6, 6 of 6, it's the wrong way around. 2 of 6, 3 of 6, 4 of 6, 5 of 6, and as you've just seen, 6 of 6. So all I'm going to do with these now is I've got some little ATC card plastic covers, and I just need to try and manoeuvre, because there's quite a lot of layers and bulk to these. I'm going to try and see if I can get these over the top and into those little envelopes without causing any damage. There we go. So that's a nice little protective plastic cover. In fact, that's going to make it easier. There we go. So they're all done, or they all will be done. That's all I need to do. And then we are all pretty much finished. Signed, sealed, delivered, as they say. God, this is fiddly. Right, I'm just going to get these in the little plastic envelopes and then I'll be right back. So there you go. It was a bit of a struggle when I managed to get the plastic covers over all 6 of them. So they're all now protected, and I can easily throw these into the post or send them out to people as and when I want to. So there you go. There's my collection of 6 Nutcracker ATCs for my 7 days of Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications, because there will be more videos in this series coming up. It's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.